Master Trooper Brooks David is with us. And Brooks, I thought we would talk about I-10. I mean, we get so many comments from people about I-10. Do something about those crazy truckers, those people that are speeding, everybody with Texas license plates. So give me some idea of what do you think causes big snafus like yesterday?
Well, we have it actually. I have it right in front of me. From 2014, we have the numbers in. And believe it or not, 29% of CMV drivers, which is commercial motor vehicle drivers, were cited in fatal crashes. 74% were passenger car drivers, whether it's cars or pickup trucks.
Right.
In injury crashes, 47% were CMV drivers, and 50% were passenger cars. Property damage was 47 and 55. So the total average is 47 for CMV, 55 for passenger cars. So it breaks almost even whenever you look at it that way. So it's not one group that's doing one thing more than the other. Mm-hmm. It's both that's committing violations. Most of the violations that are committed, if you look, are either careless operation or following too close. Mm-hmm. So we asking everybody to slow it down and not follow too close. You have to be able to see ahead of you to make sure that there's nothing going on.
Now, yesterday, was fog involved?
There was fog involved. From my understanding, there was also smoke involved, maybe from some cane fields, and a woman that stopped on the interstate because she thought she had hit something in the roadway. So it made it really difficult for people to see that with the fog and everything else involved, and probably traveling too fast for road conditions maybe made for a bad situation.
Let's look at a couple of things that our listeners sent on Facebook and Twitter and everything. They said, well, why is it the trucks are supposed to be doing 55, cars can do 60, and the trucks are supposed to always be in the right lane, and lo and behold, you see trucks in the left-right lane doing 60.
Right. The DOTD does a study where it dictates what the speed limit will be for those truckers or passenger cars for that. However, truckers have to stay in the right lane. Now, they are able to pass only, and I say only, if the vehicle in front of them is doing, say, 45, okay?
Right.
But they can't exceed that speed limit of 55, when they're passing. So if the vehicle in front of them is doing 53 or 52, they're not allowed to pass. They have to stay in that right lane. And the only other time they're allowed to move to that left lane is if there's an emergency vehicle on the shoulder, like a police officer with a traffic stop.
Sure.
That's the only other time. And once they pass that emergency vehicle, they must get back in that right lane.
Man, I tell you what, I could be Barney Fife. Citizens arrest, citizens. I mean, I don't know how many times I've been on the Basin Bridge, and there are trucks passing me, and I'm doing 60, and I'm in the right lane, and they're passing me like I'm standing still.
Yes. Now, believe it or not, and people don't see us that much, but we are up there. Now, we won't try to make a traffic stop where we have to pull somebody over on the shoulder of the interstate up there, because believe it or not, it makes matters worse. People start putting on their brakes at the last minute, and people get rear-ended, and it causes big problems. So we try to pull them over at the next exit, whether it be Butler Rose or Whiskey Bay or even at the end of the bridge, is where we try to make those traffic stops. Now, so far this year, on the bridge, we've written 4,068 tickets. 2 weeks ago, we did an airplane detail. It was the last one we did.
Wow.
In 2 hours, we wrote 41 traffic citations. The highest speed was 95 miles an hour. So as you can see, we are enforcing traffic violations on the bridge, but you might not just see us. And the reason is because it's for the safety of the traveling public.
Yeah, not only that, it's a long bridge. You might be giving somebody a ticket at 1 mile marker after somebody's already passed it, so they wouldn't see the vehicle.
Now, that's just on our side of the bridge.
Right.
That's from up to the 127.
Yeah.
So what happens on the other side, that's Troop A side.
Yeah. We were coming back from Florida a couple of months back, and I was coming, into New Orleans off of I-12, and I counted 7 state police cars all lined up there just catching people as they came off that bridge. Mm-hmm. Does it take that kind of show of force maybe to just scare the pants off of everybody?
Well, a lot of times what you don't see is the aircraft in the air.
Right.
Now, I wish we can do it every day, but we can't because of the budget. But we try to do it as much as possible. And when you come off of a bridge and you see 6 troopers and maybe some deputies or city cops with us, that's exactly what's taking place.
Yeah.
Or we have some type of LiDAR detail going on up there. But we try to do as much as possible, but we also have to try to keep the motoring public safe. So for us to put all kind of troopers up on the bridge would be very dangerous for the public. Traffic would move a whole lot slower. People would have to yield the right-of-way to the left lane, and people would be hitting brakes all over. So there would be multiple crashes everywhere.
Yeah, I was just totally shocked to hear that we had another big snafu yesterday, and we had one the day before, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And that seems to come in cycles. We seem to have, 3 or 4 months we're good, and then 2 or 3 days it's just all hell breaks loose.
Believe it or not, especially St. Martin, the bridge, we'll talk about the bridge, is one of the lowest crash rates in the state. Lake Charles, Calcasieu, Lafayette's higher. Some other parishes I have right. Put it this way, St. Martin's not even in the top 12 in the state of crashes with commercial motor vehicles on the bridge. So the interstate is the same size everywhere you go.
Sure.
It's just there's no place to exit off. There's no avenue of escape up there.
Yeah.
So people get a little nervous when they're driving up there. All you have to do is relax, pay attention to what's going on, let the distractions go away. Watch what's going ahead of you 20 seconds up the roadway. Don't wait till the vehicle in front of you slams their brakes, and it's too late.
And Master Trooper Brooks David is with us today. We're discussing the problems we've had on I-10. And I guess what compounds the thing is the fact that when I-10 closes in either or both directions, then it really gets weird. People have got to go I-49, 190, and if something happens there, which has happened recently, then it's like the whole state seems to come to a standstill.
Yeah, it does. But people also have to realize that I-10 runs from California to Florida. It's one of the biggest interstate systems in the United States.
Yep.
So we have traffic from everywhere here, and we also have the oil industry, the trucking industry, and everything else. So we have commercial motor vehicles running everywhere, even coming out of Mexico, going to Canada. So we have the most traffic here, especially here in the Lafayette area on I-10. So when it does shut down, the only route we have to send you is I-49 or US 90. People don't want to take US 90 because it takes them out of their way. They have to go to New Orleans or whatever if they're going to Baton Rouge. But when you go to US 190, traffic gets backed up. There's traffic signals, and people not paying attention there again, and there's crashes.
And traffic signals also are slow as speed limit, and that makes people kind of tense because they know there's some officers along there just waiting to write some tickets. Yeah. So, it puts people on edge. You know? And, you mentioned I-10 going from California to Florida. I was amazed to learn that San Bernardino, California is on the tail end of I-10. So we had terrorism in San Bernardino that could have flowed down I-10.
Right.
Kind of strange.
People would be surprised at what the troopers, and I'll say troopers because I can vouch for them, what we catch on I-10. I mean, you have traveling criminals from all over the United States, whether you're coming from Mexico, California, Texas, trying to get up the Eastern Seaboard, what have you. And we get all kind of problems.
I find it amazing that when I read a story from you, and it says the guy was pulled over on a routine traffic stop because he had a burnt taillight. I know if I were moving drugs or anything down the road, the first thing I'd do would be go around my car, check all the lights. But these guys, they obviously, are not the smartest bears in the woods.
A criminal's a criminal. But the troopers on there are trained for questioning people and watching body language and stuff. Like that.
And if somebody sees some reckless driving, they can always dial star LSP to get instant or almost instant attraction to those people.
That's right. Star 577, which is star LSP from your cell phone. It'll come straight to the nearest troop that you're near, and we'll try to get somebody out there as soon as we can.
Good deal. Master Trooper Brooks Davi, thanks for joining us. I know it's after hours for you, and we appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right. Thank you very much.